Hello, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of Squared Triangle. We are talking the Royal Rumble, all 4 matches it had.
Yeah, 4 matches, 3 worth really talking about, in my opinion.
I mean, 2 of them were the Rumble match, so that's good. Those both took a considerable amount of time. Both of them were well over an hour.
Yeah. So
fair.
Do we want to do this in order, or do we want to cover the non-Rumble matches before getting into the Rumble?
I think covering the non-Rumble matches will be a better idea here.
Okay.
Then we can start with DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns. On paper, a great tag team match.
On paper, a great tag team match, and with a finish, an interesting development in the storyline.
Yes.
I don't feel like this match feels bad in a few ways, because this is the first tag team title match on a PLE since WrestleMania 40.
And a 2 out of 3 falls match was usually a banger.
Those 2 out of 3 falls, which are usually a bang, but it's like it didn't really escalate at all. Like, this was a very, like, the baseline of this match was consistent the whole way through.
There was no crescendo.
Yeah, it just kind of fell flat, you know?
Like, the crescendo of the match was Angelo Dawkins coming in with a crutch and just whacking him.
The big finish was the DIY retaining, Street Profits attacking the 2 tag teams. Hopefully we're getting a triple threat. I think they're building a lot of triple threats going into the next few events. We'll get to that with the Rumble too. But yeah, this match on paper should have been great. And it just kind of fell flat a little bit.
I mean,
I think
it's kind of sad too, because these 2 tag teams are incredibly good. You know, we've seen what the Motor City Machine Guns can do in TNA. We've seen what DIY can do in NXT. And you think about it, that should have been a standout match. But overall, it was like the most forgettable of the 4 matches on the pay-per-view. And this is kind of sad to see it.
That's saying something, considering the other match was a WWE Championship match, which is traditionally been not...
We're going to talk about that match. We're going to talk about that match because, like, holy shit.
Both contestants died.
But yeah, I hope, like, maybe injecting the Street Profits into this feud and giving it another triple threat feel is what it needs. But I don't know. It's just like I was watching it and I'm like, this doesn't really feel like there's a lot of tension in this match. There's a lot of excitement. It's literally just a 2 out of 3 falls tag team match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think putting the Street Profits in this feud is definitely going to help. You know, because especially with them acting as heelish as they are now. You know, this would just bring like a whole new interest to this dynamic.
And they're not even like necessarily being heels. They just want the titles.
Yeah.
And I respect that. But and then to keep
Montez
in mind, Montez looks amazing.
I saw Montez. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Like, all 3 of these tag teams now are great tag teams that we love. Like Montez Ford looks like a Greek god. Angelo Dawkins is still amazingly athletic. So injecting them can only do good, assuming they get their time.
Not only injecting
another thing, I don't think they got their time.
Yeah, and on top of that, I think right now putting the tag titles on them would help the tag team division on SmackDown, because I think the Street Profits can work well with anybody. You know, especially Montez Ford, man. That dude is super athletic. He just make everything work. And Angelo Dawkins is fantastic. So yeah, I would actually put the titles on them right now. You know,
maybe,
but that's just me.
Maybe, well, I don't necessarily like titles changing hands in Elimination Chamber, because it just means, oh well, they're going to retain on WrestleMania if they're even on the card.
Yeah.
So maybe we wait until WrestleMania to put the belts on them, give them the WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, I would wait till WrestleMania
if that's the route they go.
Yeah, I think I would wait till WrestleMania also, because that'd probably be the best place for the Street Profits winning anyway. You know.
Yeah, it'd be a nice big moment for them. They've been there for a while. I mean, Motor City Machine Guns are a very veteran tag team. They've been across the world. They've been in every promotion, basically.
They've won titles in every promotion.
People forgot they even showed up for a one-time thing in AEW before they signed with WWE as Jay Lethal's teammates in that tag team match. So, like, they've been everywhere. And they have been involved in feuds. They did get, the titles early, but, like, they had Chris Sabin, like, in the speed tournament. And I'm just kind of like, man, give these guys something to do. Like,
Was it Shelly or Sabin who won the TNA World Title? I think one of them did, and I don't remember which one it was.
Both did actually.
Oh,
I mean,
so
in recent months, I think they.
In recent months, it was
held,
Shelly.
Yeah, Shelly finally held the title.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
yeah,
cool.
like 14 minutes, it's a lot of time, but I just don't think it was a lot of time for what they wanted to probably portray.
I think they had bigger plans that they didn't really get to do.
But like I said, the addition of the Street Profits is going to be interesting going forward. So,
going to the next singles match.
This match fucked.
This match was really good.
I have never
match.
I have never seen a ladder match be less focused on like ladders at like climbing. Like usually in ladder matches, like there's a bunch of climbing spots and then people being pulled down. That only happened like 2 times in this match.
A couple times, yeah.
And then it was
These two
like
were just trying to kill each other.
They were still trying to kill each other. They're dropping each other on the ladders. KO was hitting some good spots on it, and then the fucking
KO took a nasty spot on one of those ladders where he landed on his back.
Yeah, he landed on his back.
You just go like you can just see his back arch, and I'm like, man, I'm surprised he's not injured after that.
And the big finish of Cody hitting the strongest Alabama slam on the ladder between the announce table and the ring, and just basically folding KO over himself.
That one and the fisherman suplex off the top rope that KO gave Cody were the two where I was like, ooh.
Yeah,
because KO was insane too.
The fisherman suplex, like KO hit the ladder as hard as Cody did too.
Yeah.
But yeah, the slam to KO to finish it, and then Sammy coming out, and just they're getting better with their camera angles because Sammy's like trying to take care of KO even after all the bullshit he's gone through, and Cody's just celebrating the victory on the table behind him, beginning
that was a really good shot.
The slow burn of the Code Lander. It is definitely.
I'm here for it.
It is definitely like Cody dipping into his more heelish side. Like he straight up tried to murder KO. They did play it off as KO, being injured. I guess he did come back on Raw and attack Sammy.
He gave Sammy a power driver.
Yeah. So it wasn't a major thing, but there was a moment at the end of that match where they were checking on KO on the ladder, and we thought that one of the refs threw up the X. And I'm like, that's not something you should just casually do for a storyline. Like that is the signal for somebody is legitimately fucking hurt. So we thought we saw that, so we were like, oh fuck, because when he hit and he went under, the ladder is like above his head. Yeah, so I'm like, that arm came down, that step of that ladder came right down on KO's fucking skull when he hit the ground, didn't he?
It had to, because it looked like his head like went through one of the ladder rungs also. Yeah. So
like he crushed through
a looking spot,
and his head was between the steps as it crashed down. Like
so he landed on his like tailbone first. So
yeah,
I think because the way they gimmick those is that they make the inside of it like hollow.
Yeah, they make them hollow, and they do like a little bit of like a pre-cut to help it fold easier.
They do a pre-cut so that they fold.
Yeah.
But people can always miss their marks. So
I will
only hope that. I will
say AEW did the same thing. The ref held the ladder for them. I ain't see anybody bitching about WWE doing it. Keep that same energy, motherfuckers. Like that ref got in the ring and held that ladder. You all bitched that AEW did it. You need to keep that same energy.
I don't know. Like we still have OSHA for like however long we have in the current sphere of things in America. We're gonna go. Yeah, we're going to hold on to OSHA guidelines for as long as we can. And that means when someone's up that high on a fucking ladder, someone has to hold it.
It is technically for every 4 feet up, you have to go 1 foot out. For every 4 feet
up, you have to, yes.
And on top of that,
I work in an industrial area. It's like,
but on top of that, people don't seem to understand how unstable that ring is. Also,
yeah,
it's like it's not just like a flat surface that stabilizes and walk in. There's some.
It's cardboard. It's like plyboard with like padding,
plyboard and padding and all that stuff. So it's gonna have some giveaway to it.
It's the world's shittiest bed. Just think of it like that.
Basically,
but yeah. So I saw that, and I saw some people like pointing it out, but I was just like, man, they did the exact when AEW had a broken ladder that I think Hobbs was on. I think that's what it was. Like it was a broken ladder that he was saying on, the ref was supporting it. No, this was a perfectly fine ladder, and the ref was still fucking supporting it. So let's keep that same energy whenever you guys say some stupid shit.
Right.
But yeah, this match was great. 25 minutes. These two guys in this feud just wanted to beat the hell out of each other.
It was really good.
And Cody is like definitely tapping into that heel side now. And
He's
with everything going on,
he's at the very least being more like aggressive. If he doesn't ever go fully heel, he's at least becoming more aggressive and assertive in his matches.
The shot with Sammy though makes me think that after this whole KO Sammy thing, Sammy's gonna be like probably like, Cody, you probably went a little too far. You know.
So we're recording this Wednesday. So
right.
So we know what happened on Raw. KO came by and package pile driver Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
So we're probably not going to necessarily get Cody, Sammy, even though that would be fully justified. So Sammy going, hey,
we got another Kevin Sammy feud.
Another fucking Kevin Sammy feud.
They're destined to fight forever in every promotion.
To be fair though, it is the same energy
multiple times.
It is the same energy as Seth and Roman, and we'll get to that in the men's rumble.
All right. Well, let's start with the women's
rumble. An hour and 10 minutes. In my opinion, a very shitty winner out of all the women you had here.
We also don't like Charlotte Flair, so like that's why.
Well, it's like she has been gone for what?
Surprised about that.
She's been gone? She's been gone for what, a year?
About a year, because she got injured December of last year on SmackDown.
And the women's division has been built around a bunch of new women who have shown that they can, take center stage and all that. They made 2 new belts to, show like, hey, we're giving more to the women. Charlotte comes back and just instantly is like given the win. And this is the same Rumble where Alexa Bliss returned. Like,
this is the same Rumble
tonight, by the way.
This is the same Rumble where Roxanne Perez was the star of the show.
Yes.
She was the Iron Woman in this. She lasted about an hour and 3 minutes.
So let's talk about that.
An hour 7:47.
Let's talk about that because I saw this on the wiki page. Io in this Rumble, Io Sky she broke the record for the longevity record. She beat Bayley's time of 1 hour and 3 minutes from last year. Yep. It was then broken in the same Rumble by Liv Morgan, who then had her record beaten by Roxanne Perez less than a minute later.
47 seconds.
They literally took that record and just pushed Bayley, who did it first, down to 4th place. And that is kind of bullshit.
The thing is, they're not.
You let Io break the record and then you take it away. You let Liv Morgan break the record and then you take it away. And now Roxanne Perez is the longest lasting woman in a Royal Rumble.
Well, so the thing is, when they're calling spots in the Rumble, they're not thinking about, oh, I've been in here for this long, or I'm doing this. They're just doing their spots. They're going in the ring. They're not thinking, oh, fuck, I'm going to break Bayley's record. Fuck Bayley.
Yeah. They're just going through their progressions at this point. And like I said, it's fine for what it is. It just goes to show you that you just have a lot of versatile women on this roster. So I don't think it's as big of a deal, but
Let's also talk about how like half of this Rumble showcased like the great wrestlers for WWE's women division, and then like half of the other entries just the fans could not give a shit about. It was like the saddest shit, dude. I get secondhand embarrassment when there's no pop to somebody coming out. Yeah.
The only one that really stood out to me in that regard was like B-Fab. Kind of came out to nothing.
She came out to absolutely fucking nothing. I feel so bad for her.
Whatever.
So running down the list, let's just go through the list here, and we'll talk about who eliminates who. We start off with, I guess, 2 of the most popular women in the division right now, Io Sky and Liv Morgan. Great starting 2. I mean, Io can go the distance. That's the kind of wrestler that she is. So we get 2 Raw, and then we get Roxanne Perez, who is definitely like the star of the show. This is like Shawn Michaels going to Trips. Showcase her. It's like...
This is the one.
What surprised me, though, is as somebody who doesn't watch a lot of NXT, Lash Legend stood out in this Rumble to me.
Yes. Well, Lash Legend is a star in the making.
Yes. Like, let me tell you something. Like, Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, the Meta Girls, they've been a highlight of NXT for a while now. And Lash Legend stood out because she's just been improving from where she started to where she is now, she has gotten so much better.
She's
And it's to the point where she's gonna break out sooner or later.
She looks
she
great.
Had
like she's
a
a powerhouse
recently too.
It's like,
oh, she's strong. Yeah, she's like
ridiculously strong.
She's incredibly strong, and I think she's gonna be big when she gets to the main roster eventually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They kind of teased her in the main roster because they gave her tag title shots with her partner.
Yeah. But they also had a really good moment with Lash and Jordan Grace, I believe.
Yeah.
Or no, it was there was some tension with Naomi and Bianca also during this Rumble, which I guess is like teasing something with them too. But,
yeah, because I think what it was I think it was that spot when Naomi and Jordan Grace, because they're friends in real life also. And
they're TNA. Stuff. Yeah, they were both in TNA, so she like greeted her, and then Bianca took offense to that.
She snatched Jordan Grace off of Naomi like she was a jealous girlfriend or some shit. Yeah, I was like, oh, that was interesting.
They did announce in the Rumble as Jordan Grace came out that Jordan Grace came out last year as a TNA superstar. Now she's officially a WWE superstar.
Yeah, she signed the contract. She's with the company now.
Yep. So it's only a matter of time. Where do we think she's going, folks? I think she's going right to SmackDown.
I think she's going. Yeah, I think she's going to whatever roster Rhea's not on. I don't think they're going to have them fight for the spotlight.
I think she starts in NXT first. They're gonna put her in NXT for a little bit.
I don't think she starts in NXT.
God, it's so insulting if they start her in NXT, honestly, because she knew hard cam. She knew hard cam from the get go. Like she is ready for TV.
Like I would put her on maybe SmackDown, because Raw got a lot of superstars. Raw got a lot of talent on there right now, especially now they moved Bailey over. And I don't know if Charlotte's gonna be on Raw or not, but they got a lot of talent on Raw right now. SmackDown would be a better fit for Jordan Grace.
I saw a post on Twitter, and it was "Don't worry, wrestling fans, muscular Sabrina Carpenter can't hurt you." And there was a side by side of Jordan Grace and Sabrina Carpenter, and I'm like, oh my god,
you can't unsee it.
But what if I want her to hurt me? Is the problem?
It's so funny too, because like Sabrina Carpenter was seen like wearing a Young Bucks shirt, so now like the Young Bucks are trying to get her to like they're replying to her on Twitter, trying to get her attention and stuff like that now.
That's funny.
But going through the list here, Lyra Valkyria comes out next, the new Intercontinental Women's Champion. Chelsea Green is after the United States Women's Champion.
Mm-hmm.
BFAB to Zero Pop, also first eliminated. Kind of feeling so bad.
Oh, I felt so bad for Lyra though, because like her top came off within like 5 minutes of that match.
There was she came in, did her offense, and then the top came loose, and she's holding it on, and then she like disappears off screen for a bit to get a ref, I guess, too.
Yeah, like Liv clocked her in the corner, I guess, to give her some time to readjust her top, and it stayed on the rest of the time. I think some of the ring crew helped her out with that also, but I feel most likely.
I mean, they have people under the ring.
Yeah,
they have the one guy. I think the tweet or something came out where they talked about him, and like he has a name and everything, and he sits with a monitor under the stage with like some water. It's just like hanging out. And he's like, "Hey, you're ready to come out?" Like,
I want that. I have a new dream job, guys. Is be under the ring.
I want to be the ring gremlin. Ivy Niles is next, and then Zoe Stark. We get Lash Legend, Bianca Belair, Shayna Baszler, Bailey, Sonya Deville. So now we have the full team of Zoe, Shayna, and Sonya. Watching the match, I was like, Shayna's looking like female Baron Corbin in that outfit. Like the hair, the pants, the shirt. I was like, she looks like Baron Corbin. It was kind of I couldn't unsee it. During that match.
Yeah, they stopped wrestling. They stopped wearing wrestling gear, and I think they just come out in pants and boots and shit now. So
they came on like war paint.
I guess it was like a look for them. Yeah,
they had like war paint on and all that too. Yeah. Maxine Dupree gets a huge pop when she comes out. I mean, they have a star in Maxine, and they just need to capitalize on it right now. She's very likable. The crowd loves her. She has great energy. She plays like that underdog babyface really well, and I think they're missing an opportunity not doing anything really with her.
With Maxine? Yeah, I think Maxine. I think Maxine has the tools to be like a star.
Yeah.
If they give her one of the secondary titles at least.
Yeah, she has that underdog like Bryan Danielson energy to her. Like she's gonna overcome, the stronger opponents and finally win a title or something.
Yeah.
And she's great. Like they do just need more with her.
I watched a video of her and Sheamus doing her workout.
Yeah.
And Sheamus just died.
Sheamus was funny.
It's a lot of stretching.
Yeah, Sheamus was really funny. Yeah. Sheamus was really funny in the men's rumble. I'm gonna get to that too, because we had somebody come in and Sheamus was like just enjoying the show.
Yeah, he was.
Naomi is next. And then we get Jada Parker. Boo. Boo this woman. Boo.
What's wrong with Jada Parker? What'd I miss?
Twitter, a bunch of transphobe comments.
Oh, god damn it. Every time.
Piper Niven, who should be in the Nia Jax spot. She is the perfect strong woman wrestler on this roster. And she's much more likable than Nia. And even in face or heel, like she's great.
Natalia keeping her record strong.
Natalia being the veteran.
Every women's rumble.
Jordan Grace, followed by Michin, who I'm just gonna keep calling Mia Yim. Like it's Mia Yim. The huge pop, Alexa Bliss is back. The stadium goes fucking crazy. She looks great.
She had the back of her jacket said "Friends Forever."
Friends Forever with a tiny R, so Fiend Forever. Yeah. If you ever see it from a distance, it was really, really wholesome.
Yeah, and this was her first match back since January 2023. Correct. So he's been out of the ring for 2 whole years.
She had a kid, bad postpartum depression on top of Bray Wyatt's death. Like, it was just a lot that she was going through. Seeing her back, looking genuinely happy to be back is very, very lovely.
And she looked like she hasn't missed a beat either. So, I mean,
yeah, she got a
good on her.
A big trend in both of these Rumble matches that we're going to talk about is that both of them, the wrestlers come in, they do their stuff, they kind of disappear for a little bit. And if they're in other spots, they'll get into those other spots. But if they're not, they just get eliminated.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that as like a formula for these multi-man matches.
We start getting into the later numbers here after Alexa Bliss. We're now in the final 10. Zelina Vega comes out, I guess, rocking a great Todoroki cosplay from My Hero. Yeah. Followed by Candice LeRae, who gets zero pop. Zero pop for Candice. It's just kind of like, God, this woman was beating guys up in PWG.
Well, her thing right now is that she's Nia Jax's underling, so she's not going to get a pop.
Yeah. Then we get the big guns. We get Stephanie Vacuer coming out. Huge pop. My friend Carolyn, who hasn't really seen her, is like, she looks like a vampire, and she loves it. Like Stephanie has she has this look, and it's a great look. Hall of Famer after it, we get Trish Stratus, which is very surprising. We were just like, Trish, and she can still go, and I was just like, I'm surprised to see Trish in the Rumble. But then we were joking. I was like, no, they have to kind of round out 30 women, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, and on top of that, Trish kept herself in shape all these years. She has like a yoga studio in Canada, and yeah, I mean, she can still go. She's still in shape.
We get Raquel Rodriguez, who gets no pop, basically.
Again, she is someone's underling. They don't get pops.
Did you pop for
Virgil? Did you pop for Virgil when Virgil came out in the Royal Rumble? No.
But also, it's just like, people just don't care anymore either. It's like Trips is picking his like new children to wrestle, and it's just like, quit trying to make Raquel happen. Raquel's not going to happen.
I think it's more so the crowd isn't all that familiar with them because they're not on TV as much. Because all the ladies that are getting pops are the ones that have been on TV more than anybody else. So I mean, it is what it is. And unfortunately, it's sad for them, but that's just kind of how that goes. Unfortunately.
Next after that is Charlotte.
27, we get the return of Charlotte Flair. The crowd is kind of mixed. There is a loud reaction. The crowd's kind of mixed though.
There is a reaction, so we have to give it to them that the crowd likes Charlotte Flair. So Tay unfortunately made the right decision, but I don't like it.
Like the Twitter post It looks like she stole Carmella's face. She's gotten so much plastic surgery. It's like, it is noticeable. Like, if you were to watch each Rumble year with Charlotte, she looks progressively like a different person. And I'm like, it's Carmella's face. Like, Corey Graves right now is on the way home. It's like, her pop. They're also, another thing too, they were really sticking to like the 2-minute timer.
Yes.
In this Rumble, like these entries came out quick. I was like, they're actually sticking to like the 2 or 3 minutes, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like nothing felt like overly long, so a spot could happen and then somebody else come out. It was like, nah, bitch, you got 3 minutes.
Nah, this is basically old school Royal Rumble, because that's how it was back then. You know, a person would come out, another 60 seconds, another person would come out. I mean, you got your stuff in quick before the next entrant showed up. So this is very, 90s-esque Royal Rumble. I didn't mind it one bit.
After Charlotte, we get the new powerhouse of WWE, Julia and Stephanie in the first Royal Rumble after their signings.
Yep.
Good moments. A little bit of team up with them too. I kind of like they're keeping like the team up energy that they have in NXT. They both, it's like, it's definitely strikes them as like, it's like, we know we're tough. We know we've been around the world. Let's, show these women something. Nia Jax, and then Nikki Bella as number 30. And I'm just kind of like,
choice.
I'm just kind of like, that is a choice. That feels like 21 or 27 could have been Nikki Bella, and you saved the big return for Charlotte or Alexa.
I would have saved. I would have put Alexa at 30. Honestly,
imagine Alexa hitting at 30.
Amazing.
Like, but it was a very weird like final two. I would say Nia and then Nikki Bella. It was just like, okay, well, I guess that's that. Now we just see who's in the ring. And sorting by order here, because thank you, Wikipedia, for having a sortable table.
Mm-hmm.
We come down to Charlotte, Roxanne, Nia Jax, Nikki Bella, Bailey, and Julia as the final 6, but I don't think they're in the ring at the same time. I think we're down to like, no, we are. So it's those, because looking by who eliminated who. Interesting final 6. Nia Jax does kind of wipe out like a third of this Rumble though on a spot. Like everybody's hanging outside the ring and then Nia just runs into him.
Nia just starts cleaning house.
She just bulldozes them all out.
She takes out Stephanie, Raquel, Io, Naomi, Bianca, and Liv Morgan. And then Nikki Bella. And the final 3 are Nia, Charlotte, and Roxanne. And I'm really at this point just like, they're going to put this on Roxanne, aren't they? Like, she's going to win this fucking Rumble.
I never thought for 1 second she was winning that Rumble.
No, Charlotte. And I'm just like...
No, and I'm going to tell you too something. Okay, the minute they put Charlotte Face's they ran that promo on SmackDown with Charlotte Flair's return, I automatically knew she was winning that. Okay.
Yeah.
I literally said out loud that I was watching SmackDown. There's your 2025 Royal Rumble winner.
Yeah. It's just kind of like...
you knew it was coming.
So who does she go for is the question, I guess. Does she try to run it back with Rhea, or does she go for Tiffany?
Probably Tiffany.
I think they're going to
which will piss everybody off.
I think she's going to go for Tiffany. And I'm just hoping, I'm like, please, God, don't take the belt off Tiffany. Like,
I know.
Because I know, like, I guess she's like in the record streak now for like women's title reigns, and I'm like, just don't give it to her, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if they do let Cena win at Elimination Chamber and get another title win, it's like, God damn it, dude, you're just doing this so he could get the fucking Ric Flair title numbers. But yeah, a good Rumble, some interesting spots, not a lot of like crazy like in story moments, I would say, compared to the men's one. Like the men's one had a lot of storytelling built into it. There was some rivalries here and there. Yeah, some rivalries here and there, but like not a lot that they like truly focused on, with outside the ring action, like after eliminations and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still good. I mean, a decent roster. And it's just, again, I'm just like, the winner is just like, sure, I guess.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, you have You have Julia, you have Stephanie, you have Roxanne, you have Maxine, who could have been an underdog. You had Alexa Bliss coming back, and you chose Charlotte. It's like,
And see, and it begs the question, honestly, like with this women's division that we have now, is it really necessary for Charlotte to kind of main event all the time?
you have this
You
whole
don't really need to.
yeah, you have this whole new women's division that has been built up in the aftermath of, the 4 horsewomen leaving. You had Charlotte, who was injured. You have Becky, who's gone, and you have Mercedes Moné, who's no longer with the company. So you had to build up new, performers, and they did that with Tiffany and Rhea, and Liv's kind of in that spot now too. But it's like when stuff like this happens, it's like, good job over the last year, ladies. Fuck you. It's like, that's what it feels like sometimes, There are so many more deserving women than Charlotte in this match to win it. And that's why I'm like, just let Tiffany beat her. Like, give her that rub at least.
Yeah. That's what I would do.
I think as long as Charlotte Flair loses at WrestleMania, I think we're square. Like this winning, okay, I guess, but like
this is we're doing this now to pay you back later.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like we're doing this to say fuck you again down the line. Like it just feels so like, god damn it. The women's division had such a good year with all their people missing. Charlotte, Alexa, Becky, all of them are gone, and they bolstered it. They like brought new people in, they built people up, and then they just kind of fell back into habit, I guess I would say.
Well, they have Bayley in NXT right now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she comes in on other shows, but like she's on NXT a lot because she's like beefing with Cora Jade right now.
Yeah.
And Roxanne Perez.
And Roxanne, yeah.
So it's crazy. I think also for somebody like Julia and Stephanie, only Julia got an elimination. That was on Jordynne Grace. So I'm like, maybe they are going to put her in NXT and like build a feud there, but like to not let Stephanie get one elimination, it just kind of feels like, yeah, we know we brought you in with all this hype behind you, but we're not going to like give you a lot of stuff just yet. It's like they couldn't even eliminate anybody, lower mid card to just get one.
It feels more like a slow cook. It's basically a slow cook with Stephanie. They had managed to they were going to put the focus on Julia when she got there, because of her, international acclaim. But, with Stephanie, it's kind of a different story. This is going to be a slow cook with her. I ain't too worried about it because eventually they're going to build her up to where Julia is right now. She's going to be an NXT champion, and then she'll be on the main roster before you know it, too. It's a matter of time because, like I said, they need, this WWE, all these big Latin stars now, now they just secured Penta also.
Yep.
You could use a top Latin female star like Stephanie Vaquero on the roster also, but it's just going to take a lot of patience to get to that point.
Yeah. I mean, she, like I said, she's great in the ring. She has a great look. Like, she has all the tools. They just got to trust her a bit. Like, you brought her in because of what she can do. Let her do her thing.
Let her cook.
It's just like, that's the thing. It's like they sign these people and it's like, yeah, we signed this world talent, we picked the best stars from everywhere. And then it's like, we don't trust them to do their thing. They have to do our thing.
Did you ever hear the story about when they signed CM Punk and they were like, and they asked him what his finish was? And he was like, I mean, what do you want my finish to be? And he goes, oh, don't you do like a flippy dippy thing? He's like, no, I don't do a flippy dippy thing. That's not the kind of wrestler I am. Well, can you do a flippy dippy thing? No, I'm not going to do a flippy dippy thing.
They're going to sign Ray Phoenix.
They had no idea what they had.
They're going to sign Ray Phoenix and be like, he's a submission wrestler, right?
Yeah.
So not much has changed since 2006.
Yeah. I mean, you should definitely build Julia and Stephanie to be, I think Stephanie is, from the match with Mercedes, is kind of more technical at times, but like Julia has like striker and technical wrestling too. And I'm like, just let them play to their strengths, man. Like, you're letting KO do the package pile driver and make it look devastating. And have they let Penta hit a Fear Factor yet?
Like, no, it's effectively only one person can do a package pile driver at a time.
They were letting him
to make it look devastating.
We're letting him do Canadian destroyers. I'm gonna call it a Canadian destroyer. I'm not calling it Mexican destroyer. That's a WWE thing, and they can kiss my ass.
But another thing though, they do have like 5 different people doing spears right now. So I mean, what's a package pile driver?
We're gonna talk about that in the men's rumble, because after seeing Braun hit Roman with a spear, I'm like, I think Braun has the best spear in the fucking company right now.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
His just looks.
Especially the one he did on I Show Speed.
Well, we're gonna talk about that shit too. Like,
that was fun.
Right. Well, let's get to the men's rumble.
But yeah, so a good women's rumble. I hate the finish.
Yeah, me too.
A good showcase of upcoming talent though, with Julia, Stephanie, Roxanne.
I would have vastly preferred Roxanne Perez taking it.
Yeah, just even if you like, just let her lose to whoever, but like, still give her that spotlight. You know, if you want to build her up, she is the prodigy.
Right.
Men's rumble. They started this shut off with Lucha, and I think it was the perfect start for this rumble too.
I think so. I think like, this is one of the best ways you can get, like, you've got Penta. People love Penta, especially since he's debuted on Raw. This is how you get him on that worldwide audience that you claim to have.
You start with him and Ray, which is kind of calling back to Lucha Underground, because I think when Ray first like showed up, it was him and Phoenix, right?
That was the first title match in Lucha Underground, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Penta
I think so, but
Prince Puma was the first Lucha Underground champion. It was
Puma. It was Puma and Ray. When Ray came out after being like the surprise like opponent, you know.
Gotcha.
Puma was like giving him like the handshakes and the bows and everything. It's like it definitely felt that. And you could tell, like, in the start of the ring, like, Ray's there telling him it's, you know, he's probably assuming Penta's overwhelmed by just, like, the spotlight that's on him right now. And you can tell Ray's, like, trying to get him in that mindset of, like, you can do this shit. Like, this is your moment here. And it's just really good to see, like, Ray just continuing to pass on that to, like, a new generation.
Yo, you realize how many luchas Ray has? He pretty much influenced an entire generation of luchas. So, you know, every last one of those luchas in the locker room, they look up to Ray. You know, as a matter of fact, people in other luchas and other companies look up to Ray. The dude at this point is an icon.
Would it be wrong?
Would
it be wrong to assume that when ultimately his time comes and Ray passes, there's going to be probably a Santo level of loss in the community?
Oh, absolutely.
I think he is this generation's El Santo.
Yeah, he's most definitely this generation's El Santo. Mike, it's going to be like a whole, you know, slew of tributes across.
They're going to have a whole tribute show on Raw.
Tribute shows, tournaments, all kinds of shit for Ray when he's gone.
Yeah. I mean, that man was also part of, you know, AEW. He was in the first All In.
Like, he's gotten a second chance at his career due to the injections they put in his knees.
Ray is moving fucking crazy. I'm like, everybody on the WWE roster, stem cell therapy right now.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Get your years back.
Stem cell therapy.
Ray is moving crazy.
I'd love to have that.
He's got his first half of his career where he was one of the most popular luchadors in WCW and WWE. And now this is the second half of his career where he's got a new lease on life even.
Let me tell you, Ray was zipping in this match.
Ray was going crazy. To tie into the story though, entry 3, the man who's currently hating luchadors, Chad Gable.
Was amazing.
A great third edition. Then we get Carmelo Hayes, which is great. Kind of still fitting into the energy of like one guy who hates luchadors and a bunch of guys who could be luchadors or are luchadors. And then there's like, you know what? Maybe just a tad more luchador. Santos Escobar. Like,
and all 5 of these competitors can work a lucha style.
Absolutely.
And they did.
And for those of y'all who didn't know, this first part of this Royal Rumble was very Lucha Underground coded. Santos Escobar was King Cuerno in Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
Fun fact there.
What strikes me is Gabe hating luchadors, especially like Penta, or something like that, I was like seeing shades of Ray Kurt Angle.
Yes.
In like this feud,
Yeah.
Chad Gable's hitting that energy in these.
Shit.
Chad wrestling
luchadors.
Like yeah, like wrestling luchadors. He's having that Kurt Angle versus Ray like energy that they had in that match. It's really good. Gable, I think, is in a upswing, like probably at the best of his career right now. Being this character.
Yep.
Then we get Otis. I love Otis. Man can do no wrong, in my opinion.
Otis is great.
I like Otis.
Crowd always pops. Really funny. And then Braun Breaker comes out and they start letting him kind of clean house a little bit. Braun gets 3 eliminations in this. Then
Braun's a monster.
Braun is a monster. They're continuing to showcase him. Everybody let him do stuff. The fact that Roman sold for him too is like, yeah, Braun's the fucking future of this company.
They know it.
And it's so good. The man is terrifyingly strong for his, like, he's fast and strong for his size. Like, he's not like an overly tall guy, but he has the muscle, and he shouldn't be able to be that agile, but he is. Like,
that's Steiner blood, man. That's Steiner
blood.
That's Steiner blood, and also that's like linebacker closing speed that Braun Breaker has.
Yes,
and he just utilizes it because when our show speed comes out.
So let's talk about that, because number 8 is supposed to be Akira Tozawa. And he's happy to be in the Rumble, and he gets jumped by Carmelo Hayes after Carmelo Hayes has been eliminated. And then it cuts to backstage where it's like, we need somebody. And Trips is like, I'll find somebody. Speed, get over here. And I was just like sitting on the couch like, Speed. It's like,
so when they said Speed at first, I was like, Speedball Mike Bailey? What the fuck?
So there was the very brief moment in my mind too. I was like, they landed Speedball for a single appearance, didn't they? Because I mean, people suspect he's signing with AEW when everything's finished. So they were like Speed, and I was like, oh my god, they signed it one time Speedball, didn't they? Because technically, I guess he's not with TNA anymore. His contract has ended.
No. Yeah, his contract is expired.
Well, even if he was with TNA, they have an agreement.
Yeah, he comes in. Him and Braun eliminate Otis, and then Speed gets fucking destroyed by a spear.
He got absolutely flattened by Braun Breaker, and they show so many different angles of it.
Yes, the man just like it's like a video game effect of getting hit. Like, then it transitions to he gets picked up, thrown outside the ring by Braun, caught by Otis, and then slammed on a table in a comedically funny fashion. Like when Otis hits him with the fall away slam, like Speed hits the table and then like starfishes as he like flies off the other side.
Yep,
it's really funny.
That was a very, very good elimination. Oh, and
a really effective celebrity elimination.
And then when they show Speed in the back after his elimination, there's like Logan Paul checking on him, and Speed on his leg has like the biggest gash, just like this big around.
It's a big gash.
Skin ripped off.
Yeah,
it's just where he got friction burned by Braun.
Yeah, it was either that or the announce table when he got fall away slammed on him. But he has like a huge gash on his leg, like that big now. I was like, damn.
This was a good celebrity appearance. I will give it that. It didn't overstay its welcome, and it had a very funny finish.
Yep. And he got an elimination, so he could put that.
Him and Braun got one elimination on somebody that it makes sense that they need help on. You know, he can't eliminate Otis by himself, so Braun coming in to help is enough to be destroyed by Braun because it is a Royal Rumble. Yep. And then to get his receipt back from Otis after having eliminated him in the span of like 3 minutes,
56 seconds.
56 seconds, let's go. So in and out, fantastic. You know, next we get Sheamus. The fella is always good. I love Sheamus. He's in another great era.
Sheamus is another one who in this era of like people like taking better care of their bodies. He came back from surgery, remember, and he was a little like pudgy.
Yeah, he's gotten back in shape.
He's gotten way back into shape now.
He's in another like good era of his career. Like he's not like the spotlight, but there is a story of him chasing that last title. You know,
but And I hope they give it to him at WrestleMania. I want another Sheamus Braun Breaker match, honestly, because I need one of those good, hard hitting, hard smacking matches that they have.
We'll get to that because then we get Jimmy Uso and Andrade, who don't really like do much. I mean, they're involved, but they don't really have like a spotlight in this match. But then the man of the hour shows up, and I think
Jacob Fatu.
This was the focus of this Rumble, I think, is building Jacob Fatu to be the monster that he is. Tied with Roman in this Rumble for the most eliminations. Both of them got 4.
He did a double Samoan drop, I believe.
Yes, he did a double Samoan drop on, I think, Andrade and Jimmy. Or no, it was I think it was Andrade and Jimmy, if I remember. So yeah, he comes in and is just clearing house for a little while. He is definitely like the threat of the Rumble. And we get great moments of like him and Braun staring each other down, and I'm like just in my veins, dude. Just
I need it.
Right in my fucking veins.
Like, big meaty men slapping meat.
And this is not the first time they've been doing this too. They did this a couple months ago when they had Jacob and Braun staring each other down. So they keep teasing this, and eventually I'm gonna want to see this.
I think this is the Mania match. The IC title Mania, you finally put it on Jacob. Give him something, strap the rocket to him.
Yep.
It's like it's just like in the faction with Solo Sikoa. Solo is the 5th least charismatic man in that thing. It's a 4-man group.
Has the 5th least, the 5th amount of aura in a 4-man group.
Yes. And it is Jacob. It's Jacob.
Even
Jacob is
Tama Tonga got himself over with.
And speaking of, is just Tonga Loa.
Speaking of, neither of them in the Rumble.
Yep.
Like they're just like, hey, we're avoiding the bloodline shit. It's just gonna be Jacob destroying people.
I'm here for it.
We get Ludwig Kaiser, who gets a funny 6-second elimination after being like cocky about going to the ring.
Yeah, he like walked around the ring and waited for a full like minute or two, and then like as soon as
once
he got in,
Penta eliminates him. We get the Miz, just kind of your standard. Here's the filling the ranks stars for this Rumble, because every Rumble has like, here are the people that we want to showcase, and then we just have to fill the ranks with people that people like.
Well, like a lot of it is also them like kind of rolling the dice and being like, what does the crowd think of you right now? Go out there, see what the crowd thinks of you.
And the crowd loves number 15, Joe Hendry.
Say his name, and he
recently crowned TNA champion. Comes out,
was a banger.
Comes out having a great time. Sheamus is loving it. And when Joe Hendry gets interrupted, even Sheamus starts arguing with the person who did it. He's like, I was enjoying that.
Yeah, he was arguing with Jacob Fatu because Fatu absolutely clocked him. And he just stood there for like maybe 15 seconds arguing with Jacob Fatu over Joe Hendry.
Sheamus just like, I was enjoying that.
Yeah.
But then that's another thing. We're getting Jacob staring down Sheamus. Like,
again.
Big meaty men slapping meat. Number 16. I'm surprised he's this early in the Rumble.
Yeah.
It is Roman Reigns. And we get the long-awaited stare down like interaction with Jacob and Roman, and they're just about to get there. They don't get enough time together to really make anything happen. But we do get, the visual of Braun Breaker spearing the hell out of Roman Reigns later in this match.
And he sold for it. It was great.
And I'm just like, Braun just has the best spear in this fucking company. They're going to take Ricky Stark's ability to do the spear once he signs with them. They're like, no.
Yeah, and on top of that, Braun Breaker's spear has impact. Okay, because when he hits somebody, it just looked like he just crushes them.
Yeah, so I think I remember seeing a post like break it down. Like Goldberg's is just like a car hitting you, but Braun and Roman Reigns is just a takedown. It's not like an actual spear. It's like he's just like dive tackles you to take you down. Braun is like, I am fucking hitting you like a linebacker.
Yes.
This reference I show Speed Spear from earlier. You can just see how hard Braun hits on the spear.
I think also Speed didn't know which direction Braun was coming from, which is why he turned around so slowly.
That's what made it great.
It's like I was like, I don't think he thought he could. I don't think he thought he could run the ropes that quickly, because we know that like Braun runs the ropes at like 23 miles per hour. Like it is a crazy fast speed before he just plows into you. Like. Continuing on with the hatred, after Roman Reigns, we get Drew McIntyre, still with a lot of anger towards the bloodline.
Yes,
this is where the stories start kind of tying together for a lot of these entries. Drew McIntyre still very much hates Roman, and he gets in his face a lot in this match, like one-on-one with Roman. Finally,
yeah. Because when he first got in there, he pretty much told Roman it started with you and it began with you and it's going to end with you.
Yeah, like Drew is obsessed. WWE's version of Hangman right now. Drew and Hangman are kind of playing the same character to different intensities. Like Hangman is just like unhinged at times, but like he's also showing some remorse for how far he went. And Drew's just like, I want to kill Roman and his family. It's like... Yeah. But like anytime Swerve is mentioned, Hangman's like MK Ultra sleeper like code word hits and the man goes ape shit. And it's like that with Swerve too. When Ricochet brought up Hangman, like Swerve was about to lose his mind, and I'm like, these two are going to do this forever.
Yep.
Eventually we're probably going to get the tag team down the line, just because eventually all rivalries do that. But for now, especially anytime
like key rivalries.
Yeah, but right now it's just like Hangman and Swerve, like it's on site when they see each other. It's like, and if their names are brought up in the other's presence, like they start going fucking crazy. Like these two men hate each other.
They're like a trigger point for each other at this point.
Yeah, and it's like that with Drew and Roman and Drew and CM Punk. Like Drew has like a list that he is trying to work through.
It's Seth Rollins and like
CM Punk.
Seth and everybody else currently.
Seth and whoever came in from AEW.
Yeah. Seth hates everybody right now.
Yes.
Heel or face.
After Drew, we get Finn Balor with new music. Or was that
supposedly made by Jim Johnson?
Yes. No, and also Finn XX
really?
or FXXX.
I think so.
Like a weird like name title card.
He's been doing that.
Okay.
But I think that's the new Judgment Day theme, because they stopped using the other side. Okay, I guess the rights for that ran out, so they just gave them new theme music, and it's not bad per se, but I don't think anybody recognized it.
Nobody did.
He didn't get much of a pop.
Because like the music started. The music started, there was no response, and then the name popped up and everybody went crazy.
And
so
like,
it's Finn. Hell yeah.
And then after Finn, we get Shinsuke Nakamura still coming out looking like a Sith Lord.
Came back from Pro Wrestling Noah.
Yeah, looking like a Sith. like
I said, and it's like Deca mentioned, to me, it's much better without the samurai helmet.
It is.
Yes.
Like that look Shinsuke has with the mask, that's fine.
After Shinsuke, we get Jey Uso, the eventual winner, but also the crowd pops huge. People can talk about Jay's in-ring ability, but like the man's over. Like
I've been saying this for a year and a half. This man is over as hell.
Yes, they can't deny it anymore.
This man had 70,000 people in a stadium going crazy.
Yeah,
it's time.
People will criticize his in-ring work and everything, but I'm just like, you know what? The man's over. Like that's all you got to be in wrestling, really. Yep. For a company to make money off of you,
he's over as hell, and he's probably outsold I think Roman Reigns and everybody else in merchandise right now. The dude's over as hell,
and he's going for Gunther again, so like they're going to continue this feud with him and Gunther, which I feel is
has he confirmed that?
I think in the scrum he talked about wanting Gunther again.
In the scrum he said he said this whole time he wanted Gunther. But he also said that he's going to talk to Cody on Friday.
What I think is going to happen, because it makes the most sense for me, given the Cody Vengers arc that they had, is Cody's going to do something to Sammy. And Jay's going to have to be like, okay, you can't do this anymore, man. I have to step up now. I think they're going to see the friends of Cody turn against Cody because he's crossing lines. Which I can get behind. You have like top heel Cody Rhodes versus ultimate babyface Jey Uso.
Codelander.
The Codelander. Because he almost killed fucking KO. He's depending on how this thing with KO and Sammy goes and how Sammy reacts to it, it might be Sammy Cody eventually. But like I think with Sammy, Jay has this thing of like if anything happens to Sami Zayn, Jay's gonna have to step in.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just been their friendship for over a year and a half now.
Yep.
AJ Styles is after Jey Uso, back with his original music. They actually had a camera on him during this Rumble entrance, making up for all of Kevin Dunn's bullshits back in 2016.
That's something else I wanted to talk about. Back when Tozawa got eliminated, that was really good camera work of like getting him to the back and showing Gorilla.
Yeah.
I know it's been over a year now, but Kevin Dunn was actively stealing money from.
He was
WWE.
actively stealing. Well, and like, what was it 2016 when AJ Styles appeared? The famous thing is the music hits, and it's like a minute on Roman's face, and you completely miss like "I Am Phenomenal" showing up on the Titantron.
And that was so bad they had to actually put it as an exclusive on YouTube. That's how bad that was. But see, like now, with Kevin Dunn gone, they've just had the free reign to do all kinds of unique things camera wise. Like they're pretty much using these one shots to perfection right now,
And it was very, very rare in this match too. Like the only time I think we got the real good winner was the Tozawa, elimination from the Rumble and all that.
Yeah.
They've been using it more sparingly lately, which I'm grateful for because when companies started doing that, it was every episode. It's like
they had to show off the technology and the proof of concept and to make their investors happy. And now that they've done that, they can be like, okay, now we're gonna just show off the drone camera every now and again.
We're gonna use it situationally where it fits.
Situationally, yeah. It's like both companies were kind of doing it like all the time. After they first learned, it's like, oh shit, we can do this. And I'm like, man, it's like every entrance now is like a one take. Like, just. So I'm glad they're using it more sparingly. It adds to it when stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
After AJ Styles, we get Braun Strowman, and the only thing I'm going to bitch about with Braun Strowman being in this match is that he is the one that eliminates Jacob Fatu, and that is bullshit. It's like,
but I understand why they did it. They did it to continue that little feud between them. But I just that was.
After the showing,
somebody else to eliminate Jacob Fatu.
After the showing in that Rumble, to have just Braun Strowman come out, and I think, like a few minutes after he's in the ring, just eliminate Jacob. I was just like, all right, I guess Jacob's not in the top 6. Fine, fuck it. It's like, 23, Waboodoo. It is John Cena. He still is trying to keep the hair despite the bald spot forming on the back of his head, and the man needs to let it go and shave his head like The Rock. Like, that's not helping, John.
It's sad that Jacob Fatu got eliminated right before Cena came out too, because I wanted to see that.
Yeah,
I did want to see Cena like try to pick up Jacob Fatu.
Yeah. We got John Cena. The crowd goes crazy. It's John Cena. This is the last year of him in WWE.
This is his last Rumble. Yeah.
He makes it to the final 2, which is great. It's a great passing the torch moment when we get to it. And now in the last few, we get like all the rest of the storyline threads coming out. CM Punk hits the ring. Seth Rollins hits the ring. Dominic Mysterio hits the ring. Sami Zayn, then Damian Priest, LA Knight, and then Logan Paul. Number 30, Logan Paul.
Yep. He is a WWE wrestler now. We have to accept that. He
is a WWE wrestler.
Like, it's even, when you look at it in the wiki, he is a Raw superstar.
So
he's not a celebrity.
These last few are kind of great in terms of like the last like 10 people in this Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
The big storyline building out of this, though, was following the elimination of Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk, where the stories of these three men had finally come to a head together. There's the wonderful shot of Roman in the corner with Seth's face like there, and it's like the storyline between them is still going. It's going to go forever. Then after the elimination, the very personal double stomp to Roman outside of the ring.
That felt
the double stomp to Roman as a means to shit talk CM Punk. Like, that is what I think sells that spot for me, is that he did that just so he could get closer to CM Punk. He could have just walked over him. He decided to double stomp him.
That was personal.
So that bit where Roman was like, after we tag together, after we
yes,
shed blood together, and then boom,
the 2-foot double stomp, and then just so Rollins could talk shit to CM Punk. And if this leads to a triple threat Mania, I'm all in. I'm on the couch. I am watching.
I mean, that could pretty much main event. I mean, I hate to say it.
That's probably day one.
Event your night one.
That's probably night one.
Because that's three of your biggest stars right there. And
Cody and whoever is main event day two. But like day one, Punk, Reigns, Rollins, in my veins. Like, it's just in my veins.
I don't even need a title. I don't care. I don't give a shit about a title.
Just have them beat the shit out of each other for 20 minutes.
For this is just three of your biggest guys in this company right now, all with a personal beef between each other. That pretty much sells a WrestleMania night one main event for me. No disrespect to Jey Uso or Gunther, but that's probably that's something I want to see to close the show.
Yeah, it's at this point I realize they're going to let Jey win this.
Mm-hmm.
Because it comes down to Logan, Cena, and Jey Uso. And I'm like, I know it's John Cena's last year. There ain't no way we're going to throw Cena against Gunther, and there ain't no way we're throwing Cena against Cody. And that's when it's like, they're going to let Jey win this.
For a second, I thought they were going to let Logan Paul win it, though.
For a second, we were like, yeah.
But then when Logan Paul gets eliminated and it comes down to Jey and Cena, I'm like, this is a passing of the torch moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Cena, they know how over Jey is. It's like, this is it. This is the new baby face of this company. And they go for a few minutes. They're both on outside of the ring in our typical final two Royal Rumble spot. And Jey Uso eliminates John Cena. And the stadium loses their goddamn minds. And even Jey can't fucking believe it. You see him in the ring on the shot, and even he feels like, oh shit, to himself.
That's literally what he said. Because
he was
doing interviews.
He's like, I won.
Yeah, because I saw a couple interviews this week after Jey won the Rumble. That's pretty much what he said. He was looking outside. He saw Cena on the floor. He was like, "Oh shit, shit! I actually did it."
And I mean,
so I was like,
it's just that great character work of like Jey wanting to win the big one, but also it's like you're in this match with all of these people, all these powerhouses, these stars, and it kind of made Jey feel a little underdoggy. He's like, I did it.
It kind of has a Kofi Mania feel to it a little bit.
It does. Hopefully without the 5-second squash at the end of it, but
I was gonna say hopefully without Brock Lesnar showing up because yet another person of color.
I don't think he's coming back.
He's not coming back. The lawsuit has explicitly named him. I think now to just do damage control TKO is absolutely the fuck not.
Not. But he's probably not ever coming back.
Well, they also got rid of Gable Stevenson, so
Yes. TKO is they're probably clearing house, not trips in them. TKO is get them the fuck out of here. We have shareholders.
Brand,
we have shareholders, and you're not going to do that shit. But we get Jey Uso.
Shit in the past for not doing that.
Yeah. Jey Uso, 2025 Royal Rumble winner. Does he go for another run at Gunther, or does something happen in the Cody storyline that makes Jey want to stand up to the new heel?
I think both sides have very compelling
they have very compelling
yes, both of them are very compelling storylines of hey, I was that close last time, buddy. I can get you next time.
There's also the history of Sammy and Gunther that they can build off to, where Sammy's I'm in your corner. I almost beat him, you can do it kind of thing. Like, there's a lot of history that can build off to just because of his friendship with Sammy. And that can be built off of Sammy's friendship with Kevin Owens after the Cody match. Like, there's a lot going on in these, like, this group of who we keep jokingly referring to the Cody Vengers. Because that's what they are. They're just like, it's Cody's like group of friends.
It's
basically
almost
Like the 2 years where he had to like, call on
Ally.
help to get Roman
Yeah.
Reigns, and now comes a downfall, and
they're all turning on each other. Like, KO's destroying Sammy. Seth is like in his war with Roman and CM Punk still. Like,
it's a breaking of the fellowship.
yes.
And on top of that, all of these storylines are starting to interweave together. It's like they're doing multiple storyline telling at one time, and I just find like that's interesting coming from WWE, because this is kind of like a thing we talked about with AEW constantly in the early days about how they would meld multiple storylines together at the same time. And WWE is kind of taking that page now and made it work for themselves.
Dude, there was the clip going around Twitter. It's like, remember what 2020 AEW was like? And it was Pac cutting a promo on fucking Kenny Omega, and Rio was beside him, but because Nia Rose was feuding with Rio, like during the middle of the Pac interview, Nia Rose puts Rio through a table like in the interview area. Just because they all hate each other. And it felt like a real live like backstage area where everybody just fucking hated each other.
It felt like Jerry Springer almost.
Yeah. I think that's when wrestling backstage is at its best, is like when they keep up the thing where it's like it's on site for people in feuds. But also, this was the same year too. We got the funny moment of the bathroom door being swung open to see Orange Cassidy before his before his rise as like a superstar, and then fucking Santana just closing the door slowly. I do miss the comedy of 2020, 2021 AEW sometimes.
I do too.
It felt like wrestling as a YouTube company, It felt like a bunch of like YouTube people doing wrestling, and I loved that.
Yeah, there was just a certain level of camp AEW had in those early days that I enjoyed a lot.
I think about sometimes
it is hard to do. It is hard to do that again when you've already like legitimized yourself. I'm using air quotes here.
Like, I think that's what gets me too. It's like, God, how different could it be if they weren't trying to go for TV? If they made it like a strictly digital thing, like with either live streams or YouTube, where they could just do what they wanted to do.
Right.
Instead of having to, make money from companies and stuff like that. Like, it could have just been like the internet's wrestling company,
If only.
If only. But I mean, yeah, it's to be fair, dude, the Royal Rumble is my favorite event.
Yeah,
it really is. Like, this is just a stupidly fun concept. It's just like, hey, we have all these action figures, throw them into the ring together.
Who among us didn't do that when we were like,
I did that shit growing up too. I had all
9.
Dude, I had my G.I. Joes played with my Ninja Turtles. Like,
same.
Yep.
We were talking about like as like pure 90s kids here, Ninja Turtles toys, G.I. Joes, the fucking alien action figures.
I had that truck that everyone loved. The Ninja Turtles truck that everyone loved, and no one could seem to find anymore.
You'd be lying if you said you didn't have them like fight each other.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But that's what the Royal Rumble feels like, man. It really does. It's just like drop the toy box into the ring, see what happens.
Yes, it's great.
It is really great. Again, one good winner, one meh winner, one great match, one all right match. So kind of a 50-50 one, but the men's Rumble was really fun to watch.
Yes.
I did definitely enjoy it. I think the women's was weaker than last year's. But, it was nice seeing Alexa Bliss back looking happy. I mean, say what we want about her. Charlotte's back in a ring. She's happy. It's good to, at least have her back doing what she loves. We also got the news that her and Andrade have divorced, so maybe being in a ring, is kind of helping her, depending on how that's all going. Right. Maybe just having something to focus on again is nice for people.
Right.
But, yeah, it's just like, I love the Royal Rumble. Jay winning opens up a lot until Mania. A lot of possibility. KO still looking fucking crazy. Destroying friends. Like... It's good. Wrestling again is in a great spot. The booking in some companies has been kind of hit or miss for everybody right now. It's that time of year where it's like, shit, what are we doing? You know,
a lot of it is we're throwing spaghetti at the wall, and whatever sticks is what we're going with.
yeah, it's building to Mania season, so it's just like, fuck, we need to make something work.
But speaking of Mania season, this is pretty much right around the time of the year where every company gets it together, though.
Yeah.
You know, booking starts to get better, storylines start getting more interesting. This is my favorite time of the year for pro wrestling.
I actually put the next few wrestling events in my Google Calendar so I could remember them easier.
Right.
So in 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, we have Elimination Chamber. We know that Cena's probably going to be one of the 6.
He's already been confirmed.
We know that Cena is going to be one of the 6.
2 weekends after that, we have Revolution, which is AEW's first big event of the year. Their first big pay-per-view of the year. I think one of the setup right now, I think is Copeland versus Moxley for the world title is the only match really established right now. So yeah, we are building up to like another B pay-per-view for WWE, but a very fun concept B pay-per-view. I love the Elimination Chamber as a thing too. I played a ton of matches in fucking Raw vs SmackDown 2006, 2007, like after the Royal Rumble got introduced, or the Elimination Chamber got introduced. Then we got Revolution, and then in April we have not just Dynasty, but also 2 nights of WrestleMania.
April 19th and April 20th.
So this is the time of year where WWE's like, get shit in gear, we have 2 months. Like, we have 2 months to Mania. Get this shit in order. Let's go. Chop.
The Judge Judy gift.
Yeah. And then nothing announced yet until July. So no real big events announced between April and July of this year yet, but we're probably going to see our usual, you know, Clash in Paris, I think, was announced.
So we also have something Mania related. Triple H is the first person to be in the Hall of Fame for this year.
You know the picture of Obama putting the medal on himself?
Yeah. So
that's what this is. This is what this feels like.
Funny story about that.
Pointing at Triple H.
Yeah.
That picture
about that actually. Yeah. So Triple H got blindsided by this, supposedly by Nick Khan. So Nick Khan is the one that put it at the end of the script where Triple H didn't read it. And then Shawn Michaels comes out and the Undertaker comes out and Triple H is like, "Oh, you sons of bitches." And then he's the first person in the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Yeah, definitely.
Sleeping with the boss's daughter gets you all the way up the top. Let that be a lesson to all of you.
Game.
Don't do that.
He played the game. It's like
he won the game.
He did. So yeah, between April and July, we don't really have anything, I think, besides Clash in Paris announced. And then when July comes around, we get All In, and then August we get SummerSlam. So usually, again, like every year, around August is where we start getting fucking bombarded with fucking wrestling events. Especially when we come into October through December. Thanks, AEW, for your multiple pay-per-views in a 2-month span.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I kind of like this Rumble. Like,
I think overall it's a great event.
Not their best overall event, but still a very good time watching.
I personally enjoyed it.
I was on board. I was like, okay, this is a pretty good event. And then the last little bit between the last like 5 or 6 people in the men's Rumble is really where I was like, oh shit, this is good.
Yeah. Oh, but again, like I think the biggest thing for me was just the storytelling with the triple threat build.
Yes.
And just like Raw putting his whole ass into that stomp. It's like,
it was great.
Like, I've never, it's a transition. He did that to Roman so he could get closer to CM Punk. Like, the disrespect on that stomp was so funny. What were you saying next?
Overall, I thought this Rumble was great. You know, you had a lot of good story elements in the men's Rumble. You had a lot of good moments in the women's Rumble. Especially my favorite moment of that was like Jordan Grace hitting that rolling DVD on Piper Niven. You know, that was impressive. You know, Jordan Grace had a really strong showing. I think, you know, they got plans for her. A couple other women in here had.
She's gonna have a rocket strapped to her.
Yeah, they got plans for her, I imagine.
I can only hope.
Roxanne Perez, it's only a matter of time before she ends up on the main roster. They're pretty much inching closer and closer to that, especially with this feud with Bayley currently. That's kind of like her entry level feud to the main roster. So you won't see her on NXT too much longer. But everybody else did a fantastic job. You know, hats off to everybody in both Rumbles. They were entertaining. Again, the tag team title match fell a little flat for me.
The tag team title, I think, was the lowest point of the card, and it wasn't a bad match. Well, it's just in terms of like the excitement behind it, it's just kind of like it's a match, you know. Compared
to the excitement of the other three matches, this was pretty much the low point because the other three matches were just incredible. But you know, hats off to everybody, you know, involved still. You know, great pay-per-view.
I am kind of surprised that I'm kind of surprised at the lack of a Becky return, which makes me think that maybe she is going to be gone for a while.
I think she's going to be gone for a while.
Probably.
Yeah. I think she's like semi-retired at this point.
Yeah, I think she wants to probably, you know, be a mother and stuff like that, which is completely understandable. Like her and Seth have a kid, you know, they've been traveling a lot. So maybe it's just time to like settle down a bit. Whenever she does return, the pop's gonna be fucking huge. I want to say probably she's the most over woman on their roster in terms of fan popularity. So her and Bliss, I think, are gonna have like the same energy of like a crowd reaction when they, you know, come back. Bliss got hers. Happy for her. She came through a lot to get back here. And Becky's probably gonna get that same amount of, you know, fan reaction whenever it does happen. But I guess we'll see. I mean, not to sound like anything, but I mean, I don't think the women's roster needs her right now. You know, I think they are comfortably stacked with star power right now.
I think especially if you start getting the NXT stars into Raw and SmackDown, you are good to go.
You're absolutely stacked on the women's roster in WWE at the moment. So yeah,
I would say one of the better women's rosters that's not named like Ring of Honor.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's it, guys. Any closing remarks?
No,
got none.
I think we got
for some housekeeping here. I've sent it in Discord. We may or may not be deleting the Twitter account for the podcast soon. If you're on Twitter recently, you can probably understand why.
Yeah.
If we do delete it, we will be making a Blue Sky, and when that happens, you know, we will tell you here, and we'll have it updated in the descriptions of future videos. But it's just with everything going on right now, I'm personally about to nuke my account on Friday, so I don't want to deal with it anymore as an environment, especially with everything fucking going on, you know, in the government. It's kind of a mess.
Like, it sure is.
So, on top of that, I get more engagement on Blue Sky anyway, so it's all good.
Yeah. And you get more positive engagement too. It's not people just like shit talking you know.
It's healthy conversation on Blue Sky about wrestling, and that's kind of what I've wanted for a while now.
Yeah.
Not a bunch of bots being paid by Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyway.
So yeah, that's it's just something that might change down the line. We also may delete the Facebook page as well, just generally from lack of use. Once we talk about it as a group, because it's not just me and Deca, it's the five of us as without context. So I want to get everybody else's thoughts on it first, and then we'll be on Blue Sky more than likely, because that is a definitely more positive place to be for creators right now. But with that being said, we are going to keep the YouTube around. We are going to keep the RSS feeds around. So any of your audio sources that you listen to, whether it be Audible or Spotify or Pandora, you can still find us there on our semi-regular wrestling upload schedule. Unless you're like me, where I forgot to upload an episode 2 episodes ago, and I had to go do it kind of late. So,
bruh.
It was like 11 at night, like 3 weeks after I
Oh, we can
texted.
have to get sticky notes for you to like remind you.
No,
just to
because I
put 'em
said
up
I
on
would
your
do. I
screen.
said I said I'd do it, and I uploaded the YouTube video, but I didn't upload the audio. Yeah,
Wah, wah.
so it was just
Wah.
like 11 o'clock, like 3 weeks after the episode. I was like, "Fuck, I never uploaded it." So it was fun times here. But yeah,
We have fun here.
we will see you guys in a few weeks for Elimination Chamber. Hope you all have a lovely February. If you're listening to this on the time of release, I hope your next week with Valentine's Day is very good for you. And we will see you guys the following weeks. And you know us, our schedule for this podcast is semi-regular.
Erratic.
Yeah, well, we upload the weeks after pay-per-views, and those come every few weeks. So we're not a very consistent podcast in terms of uploads, but we do upload when things happen.
But we will get to it.
We will get to it.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah, you guys can follow us on you can follow us on Blue Sky. I am SharkyHat.vtuber.social, but also the links for stuff will be in the description. Pretty sure I have Deca's code also down there
Excellent.
to find him.
I should probably update that with my Blue Sky handle.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
we'll do that later.
You know yours, X, off the top of your head?
I
you can
got
bring it
it
up.
pulled up actually. I can just.
Since we'll
My
probably be
Blue Sky-
transitioning to Blue Sky, let's just put it out there, make it a regular thing at the end of these episodes.
It is
Blue
a
Sky-
mighty tsunami at bsky.social.
Okay.
Yep. Mine is decavolty.bluesky.social.
Yeah, and I'm SharkyHat.vtuber.social because outside of this flesh skin, I am a VTuber. So
We know.
yeah, those will
I
be
tune
put
in
in.
sometimes.
Those will be put into the description of this video and future videos, as well as updated on any kind of flow code or card that we use. I may or may not change it in older videos too, but that will be a process. So it probably won't be instant, but it will eventually be done. So we will be moving away from Twitter collectively.
Yep.
So hopefully you guys can follow us on different social media and stay engaged. We'd love talking to you guys. I know
Especially on Blue Sky.
we've had one, request on the Facebook. Hopefully in the future on Blue Sky, you guys can shoot messages to us when we do make the Without Context page. And if you guys want us to talk about something on Without Context or here on Square Triangle for wrestling, feel free to shout it out. We haven't really had a lot of viewer stuff, and we'd love to do some different things than just, pay-per-views up here.
Mm-hmm.
So, but with that rambling done, I'm gonna let these guys go. I'm gonna let you all go, and we will see you in a few weeks for Elimination Chamber. So everybody have a good night, and we'll see you around.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.